Welcome in. Today, Percent's last handout, last one of this unit. We're going to talk about simple interest. All right, a lot of you are 12 and 13 years old. Let's talk about Carl. Carl just turned 13, and he's now old enough to open a savings account. Previously, he used a piggy bank to save his money. But let's consider the advantages and disadvantages to using a savings account over a piggy bank. All right. Let's start with the piggy bank. What about that old piggy bank? Let me just go ahead and tell you. The piggy bank is, it's not going to grow. Not going to grow unless you put more money in it. It's not going to grow unless you put more money in it. But the good thing is, money is at home with you. All right, if you don't know what my shortcuts there mean, that means with, and that means at. All right, savings account, I'll zoom out in a second if you didn't get those. The good thing is it's going to grow. And we're going to explain that. So if you put $5 in a savings account, it's going to grow. Eventually, it'll be $10. It may take a while, but eventually it'll be $15, but yet you didn't put any more in there, so it's going to grow, and we'll talk about how that works today. The negative of it is the money's at the bank, so it's more difficult to get your money. We'll just put harder to get your money. So the money's at the bank, so it's a little harder to get your money. I'm going to zoom out so you can get all that. Green is good, blue's the bad. First question of the day. Which fast food chain is famous for its golden arches? Which restaurant is famous for its golden arches? Golden arches. All right. So the way that your money grows is called interest. You get that by putting your money in the bank. So what happens? Let's say you have $1 million and you're rich, and you go put that $1 million in the bank. The bank is going to take your $1 million and loan out money with it. It's going to use it as kind of a collateral. So it's going to loan other people your money, basically. Now, you can still go get your money, right? That's why if everybody went to the bank at the same time to get their money, the bank would crash because they don't have everybody's money because they take people's money and they loan it out. That's how you earn the interest on your money because they use your money to make money. So when you go put $1 million in the bank, they're gonna use your money to give to other people so they can borrow money, and then the people have to pay the bank back, and then the bank gives you your money back plus the profit. That's how kind of interest works. Now, so you're going to earn money on that. So you're going to make money by putting it in the bank. Now, it's a small percent, very small percent, very, very, very small. But the more money you put in the bank, that smaller percent is more money because you're putting more money in the bank. So simple interest is interest earned only on the principal. What is the principal? Not Coach Ball. That's not the principal. That's the principal here. English language, you love it because we have one word that means 7 different things. All right, principal. What is the principal? Principal is the original amount, is a good way to put it. It's the original amount. So if you put $1 million in, that's the principal. Well, let's say you earn $1 million off interest in a long time. Well, you still only had $1 million in principal. Only $1 million original, okay? All right, so it's earned over a period of time and is written as a percentage. So interest is written as a percentage. All right, so here's our formula. Every time. Now, sometimes we're going to look for the I because they're not going to give us that information. Sometimes. Sometimes we're going to look for the P because they don't give us that. That stands for something. We'll talk about that in just a second. Sometimes we're going to have to solve for the R, and then sometimes we're going to have to solve for the T. It just depends on what they give us within the question. Here's what each of them mean. The I stands for interest. These are the words they will use in the sentence. P stands for principal. R stands for rate, and it is a decimal. And time is in years. So what if it's less than a year? Then it's less than one whole. But we're generally going to be dealing in years for what we're doing, okay? All right, can I move on? All right, directions say use the simple interest formula to determine the amount of interest earned and then find the total value of the account, assuming there's no deposits or withdrawals. So this could change if you took money out or put money in, but let's assume we don't do that. All right, so we have a $900 deposit. That's the original amount. That's the principal. Okay. And then 20 years, that's obviously going to be the what? The time. And the interest rate is 4%. So let's plug in everything we know, okay? All right. Remember our formula was right here. So we're just going to take that down and rewrite the formula. And then we're going to plug everything in. All right. We do not know the interest, okay? The interest is the dollar amount. The interest rate is a percent. The interest itself is the actual money. So we're looking for how much money. So we're looking for I. What is the principal? What was the shut up, Siri. What was the original amount? It was $900. Okay. Now, notice that these letters are butted up next to each other. That means we are multiplying all of them. Okay. Now, what is the rate? Remember, the rate is 4%. Remember, percents is decimals. How we do that? You can take the decimal, it's 4%. You can take the decimal, move it 2 spots, and then 0.4. Okay. Times years is 20. Whoops, I do it in blue for you. Now, all you got to do in your calculator is multiply those out. That's it. So let me get my calculator here. Clear it out. I'll do multi-screen for you. All right. So we're going to do 900 times 0.04 times 20. And you get 720. Now, remember we're talking about money, so the interest is $720. So what is the total amount of money in your bank account now? What is the total value? Well, you earned this much off of interest. And don't forget, you started with 900. So what do you have now? You have your original plus what you earn. and that's going to give you $1,600, $1,620. All right, we good? This is going to be the same process. I equals PRT, and we just got to find which ones are which. Okay, the principal, that is the original amount. Oops, sorry. There's the original amount. The years, and then what is the interest rate? And then you just plug them in. That's it. It's that simple. So you have I equals principal times interest. Remember, it's a decimal. Times years. Guys, you just enter that in your calculator. That's it. That gives you the interest amount. If you don't know how to turn 3% into that, remember, just move our decimal 2 places, and it's 0.03. All right. So when you did all of that, you would have gotten $7,560. What is the total value? Well, remember, you have to take those two and put them together, and you're going to end up with $13,160 because it's your interest plus what you started with. All right, Danielle borrows $2,500 from the bank at a 6% in simple interest for 5 years. So let's say she bought a car for $2,500. 6% interest is about what it is today for 5 years. So how much is she going to pay in interest? Not the total, just how much is she going to pay in interest. So all we want this time is just the interest cost, not the total. All right, so let's get our formula. I equals PRT. I equals, go back and find all of our information. The principal was the original amount, so $2,500. The interest rate was 6%. And the amount of years was 5. And then guess what? Just multiply all those together. And when you do that, you're going to go 2,500 times 0.06 times 5 equals $750. That's it. It's not a good color to highlight it with. $750. That's how much she's going to pay in interest. So the $2,500 car is actually going to cost her $3,250 because she's got to pay interest on it. That's how it works. So if I were to go buy a $200,000 house, the way the house interest works is a little bit different, but I'm going to end up paying almost double if I have to borrow money. That's why it's better to pay for stuff in cash if you can. Because if I go buy a $200,000 house, I'm going to end up paying about $400,000 for that house because I'm going to pay just as much in interest as I did for the house, which is crazy. And I'll show you that later. All right. Terry invests $6,000 in a CD at an annual interest rate of 7%. What will his investment be worth at the end of 6 months? So the time on this one is a little bit different. It's just 6 months. So remember, time is in years. So we got to take that 6 months into account. So we have 6,000 and the interest rate is 7%. All right. So we're going to go interest equals the original investment times the interest rate times. Now, the years. Well, we don't have a year. We have less than a year. We have 6 months. Okay? 6 months is a half of a year. So it's going to be 0.5 because that is half of a year. It's not even one whole year. It's less. Okay, so then we're just going to multiply those. And we're going to end up with 6,000 times 0.07 times a half, which is I was trying to find my mistake, but I didn't put 6,000 in there right. I put 600. Sorry about that. Anyways, so it was $210. Now, that's not what his whole investment is worth. That's just the interest, or just the amount he earned, the interest, plus the original amount, which gives him a final cost of $6,210. I do want to go back to my calculator to show you where I messed up because I paused there for a second. I had 600 instead of 6,000 in there. That's why I had 221. But I fixed it. There we go. All right, to the back page we go. All right, so we're going to play tic-tac-toe with the 5 questions right here, okay? You're looking for different stuff on them. So on some of them, yes, I'm going to help you. I'm going to set them up for you, and then I'm going to let you go to work and play tic-tac-toe. This one you're looking for, they give it to you. You're looking for rate, okay? On this one, you're looking for interest, which is what we did on the front. And on this last one, you're looking for time, okay? So on this first one, they gave you the interest, okay? The interest is $200. So the deposit is $800, and the time is 24 months, which is 2 years. So make sure you get that. 24 months is 2 years, because remember, we're dealing in years. All right, so in this one, you have the interest, so it's IPRT. You have the interest at 200. And then the other ones, the principal, which is the original amount. You don't know the rate, so we're going to get there in a second. Times the time, which is 2 years. And then how do I put the R there? Well, you just put it at the end. Okay? So you're going to do these first and then that's going to be R. So let's do that. Let's just do this one together. So 200 equals 1600. Series stop. Series stop. R. Divide by 1600. And you get 0.125. Remember percents. That is a percent. So you just take your decimal, move it 2 places, and you get 12.5. %. So what is the total value worth? Well, guys, we just got to go back and add. We had an 800 deposit with 200 in interest. Add those up and you get what? $1,000. All right, the same thing with time. You're going to do the same exact thing. So you're going to play tic-tac-toe with those 4 squares. And then on a tic-tac-toe board, there's actually 9 squares. On the other 5, you're just going to play normal. So the first 4 spots are going to go to whoever gets them right. And then the other 5 spots, if you have to play more, you're just going to play regular tic-tac-toe. Paper, rock, scissors for us. All right. What I want you to take from this after we do those is when you invest into an account with interest, when you invest into an account with interest, into an account with interest, it earns money. It earns additional, I'm going to zoom out for you, money. And it grows over time. Piggy bank money don't grow. All right, I'll give you the questions outside of the video because I'm out of time. And we will go over the rest of them in class. All right, adios, amigos.